Hey guys, how you doing? It's Dan here and I really appreciate you watching this video, thank you. So over the past couple of weeks I've been down in West Sussex and it has been super hot and also super bright. So I've definitely needed some ND filters on the DJI Mini 3 just to keep my shutter speed nice and filmic or double my frame rate. Luckily, Freewell sent me this Bright Day pack of ND filters to test and show you guys. Freewell haven't told me to say anything about this product, so all the thoughts on this video are from my own testing. In this video, we'll have a quick overview of the Freewell Bright Day ND filters and have a look at what you get in the packet. We'll have a look at what ND filters actually do and whether you need them to make your DJI Mini 3 footage more cinematic, especially in bright, sunny conditions. Let's get into it. I hope you liked that little drone montage of Arundel Castle. It was a really nice morning to get it, but it was super hot and bright. All the shots in that video did use the Freewell Bright Day ND filters. So here are the Freewell ND filters. As you can see, they look a little bit different than the DJI Mini 2 ones. Here's this one. On the DJI Mini 2 one, we had this little hook which mounted onto the drone's gimbal, and that's how it kind of sat in place. Now, mine never fell off from the DJI Mini 2, though it always seemed quite secure, but I never thought it was the best option of actually mounting it to the drone. I always thought there should have been another way of doing it. So it's a totally different story with the DJI Mini 3 filters. They actually replace the official lens cover on the drone, very similar to some GoPro modifications that I've seen. All you do is pop the front of the lens off by rotating it, but make sure to do this carefully so you don't cause any damage to the gimbal. Then the new filter just rotates and pops into place and you're good to go. It's definitely much more sturdy and I'm not going to be worrying about them falling off mid-flight. In the case there are 6 filters, ND4, 8, 16, 32, 64 and a CPL, which stands for a circular polarizing filter, but I'll come on to that more in a second. The case is very sturdy and it definitely keeps the filters protected, and it's small enough to fit in the DJI Mini 3 case, which comes with a Fly More bundle, which is a definite nice touch. However, I do prefer the more premium metal case which came with the DJI Mini 2 filters. I just feel it's a bit more of a better product and it protects the ND filters a little bit more. So as with most Freewell products, you also receive a black Freewell envelope which contains some goodies. So first of all, we've got some Freewell stickers, so you can put these on your drone or other places if you tend to use them. I don't tend to use these, but they are quite cool if you're into that sort of thing. This is my favourite thing. You get a little microfiber cloth to clean your filters, just to make sure they're nice and clean and free of fingerprints when you actually put them onto your drone. And also you get a couple of different cards. So the first card is a card all about CPL filters, and it explains what the little white line is on the filters, and you can just scan the QR code on the back to take you to more information about that. And finally, you get this with most Freewell products, but there's a range of 10 videos on this QR code here, and it just goes through some basic camera settings and also some basic drone moves. So that's really nice of Freewell to include. As I mentioned earlier on, there is a dedicated CPL filter, but in the Bright Day pack, all of the ND filters actually have a CPL on them. That's the red ring, as you can see on these ND filters here. The CPL allows you to move certain flares from your scene and also boost the saturations of your sky. This is brilliant on super bright days like today, where the sky can look a little bit washed out even when it's perfectly exposed. The CPLs included in the Bright Day pack actually have 2 main positions, which are indicated on the filter, one for vertical shooting and one for horizontal shooting, so it's nice that was taken into consideration too. There are also some really cool other things you can do with a polarizing filter, but I'm going to save them for another video, so make sure to subscribe to my channel to see that when it comes out. The Freewell Bright Day filters for the DJI Mini 3 Pro are currently £69.99 on Amazon. which I think is a great price. If you do like the look of them so far, make sure to check out the link in the description down below. So let's have a quick look at what ND filters actually are and why you would need one to creatively expose your DJI Mini 3 shots. You can think of ND filters as sunglasses for your camera, and they help you limit the amount of light entering your lens so you can creatively expose your exposure settings, mainly your shutter speed when we're dealing with video. Ideally, for a cinematic motion blur, your shutter speed should be double your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 60 FPS, your shutter speed should be 1/120. The strength of the ND filter is how much light is stopped from entering the lens from the ND filter. So on a bright sunny day, you may need the ND64, or on an overcast day, you may only need the ND4. And that's where the Bright Day pack comes in, because they've got a range of different filters. You know you're always going to have the filter you need on that particular occasion. So here are some quick examples to show you on how an ND filter can actually bring your video shutter speed down. So let's have a quick look at the exposure settings without the ND filter first. As you can see here, we have a shutter speed of 2000 per second to actually correctly expose the scene. This is fine, it still looks okay, but we aren't able to stick to the cinematic guide of our shutter speed being double our frame rate. So now let's have a look again, but with the ND filter on. As you can see here, we've limited the amount of light entering the lens with an ND32, and we've been able to slow the shutter speed down to a more cinematic level and add a slightly more filmic motion blur to our shot. The shot is exposed exactly the same as the previous shot, but the shutter speed is now much lower, so now we can achieve a more filmic effect. I also tried the Freewell Bright Day filters in photo mode, taking a 360 Pano. I wanted to make sure the gimbal had no issues moving the newly attached filters, and as you can see from my testing, the DJI Mini 3 captured a 360 Pano with the filters on with no issues at all, with no stuttering. ND filters can also be used for long exposure photography with the DJI Mini 3. The all-day pack from Freewell contains the ND1000, which is actually stopping 10 stops of light from entering the lens. We'll have a look at this in a future video, so make sure to click that bell so you'll be alerted when it comes out, along with a range of other DJI Mini 3 videos. So to conclude, I would definitely recommend the Freewell Bright Day ND filters. I really like how they mount to the drone now, and I'm definitely not worried about them falling off at all. I really like how they can bring my shutter speed down to a more filmic level, and I really love the circular polarizer filters on them, so I can make sure that my skies are looking nice and blue, and I can also remove some unwanted glare from my scene as well. As I mentioned earlier on, if you do like the look of these ND filters, make sure to check out the link in my description below. But guys, I think this is the end of this video now, so thank you very much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. I know I've not done any videos in quite a while, but I am hoping to change that very soon. So if you did like this video, make sure to like it and definitely subscribe to the channel for more content when it comes out. But thanks again guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.